A lot easier because he's so enthusiastic about that work he does. He gives you 100% each time.
He was always very concerned with the performance within the stunt, and then he would go and do it himself.
Because the weight of the water, the framework around where he was going through was solid steel, so we had to be so precise in the way he went through that window. I think it was probably one of the most rehearsed jobs I ever done on a picture.
You know, he's sitting there waiting to get through this glass plate with this right above him, this, you know, tons of water that's going to come cascading down from above him and behind him. Enough to literally, you know, wash you into next week.
Well, they done a shot of him running away, water just rushing out after him with all the false lobsters and everything in Prague. So you got the outlook of Prague in the background, but looking at the restaurant was at Palmer Studios.
So what happened is that they blew the tank out behind me first. So you hear 1, 2, then, and on 2, the tank behind me blew out, and then 3. So it took everything in my power to stay there for 3.
It was an epic thing, and Tom's timing had to be perfection.
I was nervous. Guy came up to me, you know, he said, look, you know, I'm gonna count to 3. He said, don't go on 3.5. He said, I'll be watching you, but I'm gonna count to 3, and on 3, that's when I'm gonna do it, okay? And I said, hold it. 1, 2, 3, go, or 1, 2, go.
This is the Mount Everest of hacks.
Inside CIA headquarters at Langley.
Relax. It's much worse than you think.
And you really think we can do this?
We're going to do it.
Some of the most riveting sequences in the film are actually part of that sequence, and it's not a question of blowing anything up. It's Brian De Palma's superb expertise at creating tension.
It's very difficult to hang straight out like that. It takes a tremendous amount of muscle control. Tom was able to do this and bring a kind of reality to it, and kind of will really sort of grab the audience as you see the terrific tension he's under.
To be honest with you, everything on that film, I think that was the hardest he worked on the film, was just doing that, because, you know, coming down all that way upside down, hanging there through the whole shot upside down and doing the turnover. And he worked so hard keeping the balance.
That was very difficult, actually, because you're hanging upside down for a long period of time. I don't know if you've ever done that, you know. It can make people nauseous. But the most difficult part of that is there was a point where I dropped down.
And it was all done by hand and weights. He just had 2 guys on there that, you know, feeding him up and feeding him down, just stopping. We had all little marks on it, you know, so when we dropped, it had it tied off to a mark, so it dropped, and it was there each time.
Now that looks effortless, but that was a really difficult stunt. And if you drop him too far down, that's not good, because he was coming fast down. If you drop him too high up, it's not as dangerous. So finding the perfect blend there is challenging, and that, I think, is one of the hardest stunts that Tom's done.